Hello and welcome to The View from the Business Forum London. I'm Joy Macknight, Deputy Editor at The Banker, and I'm joined by Marion King, Group Director of Payments at NatWest. Marion, thanks so much for joining us today.
Welcome.
You were just on a panel about the brave new world of financial services. You know, what are the technologies that are really coming into play that you think are most disruptive?
Gosh, there are many, but clearly the most disruptive has to be the smartphone. As I highlighted earlier, you know, the average age now of somebody getting their first phone in this country is 10 years of age. And it's going to be everything. You know, everything will happen will be on our smartphone. However, we need to remember that only about 30% of our customers are actually comfortable using mobile banking right now. So it's going to take time, but as a disruptor, it's smartphones. And the other, I would say, is artificial intelligence in terms of changing the way we work. And so first applications in the UK for our bank, for example, is using a system that has about 100,000 conversations a month, automated, dealing with regular, everyday inquiries that we get many times. So artificial intelligence, smart technology, digital technology converging is going to create a very different future.
Okay, and obviously there's a lot more competition in the market in terms of a lot more players, let's say fintechs, etc. You know, how do you think banks can really compete in this new world? But also there seems to be a bit of a move to like everything is for free, so like free banking. So how can banks really compete?
Okay, so a number of pieces to that question. I think I welcome new fintechs, new ideas, different ways of working. Banks just simply can't do that. They're not geared up to have all of that innovation and all of those ideas and then to execute them. So we partner and work with fintechs in multiples of ways through just buying their services or partnering in terms of development and then launching into the market far more quickly than we could have done on our own. So I think it's a great sort of combination of fresh, new, innovative companies and traditional banking, for example. And in terms of that free rather than fee, we're all moving in that direction. But you mentioned free banking. Of course, free banking's been around a long, long time. And you know, transactions cost money, but banks don't pay for them, don't charge for them rather, to their customers. So I think we've got to work this one through as we evolve. Every company needs a revenue model simply to survive. And so understanding where those revenues come from is going to be important. And I see that shifting over time.
And another big topic that was discussed today is really around open banking and Payment Services Directive 2 and open APIs. What is NatWest's strategy around that?
Embrace it. So we've done a huge amount of work around this, and we're one of the leaders in terms of driving open banking in the UK and PSD2. We are actually live now. We are working with partners. We've worked with partners for several months improving and testing systems. So we are live now and working with third parties, but this will take time. You know, this is going to take a long time to ramp up. I used the statistic before about customers still being uncomfortable with smartphones and online banking. The same is going to apply to a world of open banking where you're dealing with different counterparties.
Okay. In terms of the future payments landscape, what do you think it will look like? What banks will what role will banks play? But also, should they be fearful of the big platform players, let's say like Alibaba or Amazon?
Yeah, fearful, no. Aware of them, yes. And working together where appropriate, I think, is the right thing to do. Things are changing, but we mustn't forget that the reason customers use banks is it has to be safe, it has to be secure, and it has to be regulatory compliant. And the bank's the best place to deliver that. It's tough, and they have to keep ahead of the game in terms of being one step ahead of the fraudsters. So partnership with the Alibabas, the Amazons, the Facebooks, the Apples, the Googles is going to be really important, but they don't provide that safe, secure banking environment that banks will continue to provide.
Excellent. Thank you so much for your insights, Marion.
You're welcome.